Corner means that every person in the world who is a true Celtic person has a heart of gold. The hearts on each. The ancient Celtic. To destroy a nation you must. Erin Go Bragh meaning. Éirinn is the real Ireland. The ancient Celtic flag must be reinstated. Erin Go Bragh means IRELAND FOREVER Develera. Under the Chabad changed the name of our country to Ireland. Éirinn is the real spelling of our country going back to the Tuatha De Danann, our ancestors, when they first moved onto this island after therein was obliterated by direct energy weapons. Erin Go Bragh meaning equals éirinn forever. To destroy a nation you must first erase all identity of who they are as a race of people, destroying their heritage and culture by the Chabad. The ancient Celtic flag tells the story of the Celtic people. The four corners represent the four corners of the world. The Celtic border represents our Celtic heritage. The hearts on each corner means that every person in the world who is a true Celtic person has a heart of gold. The intricate hearts depict a close-knit family unit, meaning that the family was the most important thing to us. The winged lady harp is the true ancient symbol of the Celtic people, our ancestors, and the authentic harp has 12 strings, not 13 like the British one. The doves represent peace, depicting the Celtic people as a peaceful nation, and the fact that they flew to the four corners of the globe from immigration and other reasons that they had to depart their beloved country, also the fact that over 4.5 million years we the Celtic people spread out over the whole world. The shamrock is the national emblem of Éirinn, the fact that 8 always a com. Penny, the ancient harp, has roots in numerology and secretly means the untold truth of the Celtic people. The 8 shamrocks, number 8, what defines the Celtic people. Number 8 resonates with the influences and vibrations of authority and personal power, self-confidence, executive ability, confidence, inner strength, professionalism and the professional, management, material freedom, success, good judgment, money, finances, riches, manifesting wealth, abundance and prosperity, provision, investments, giving and receiving, thoroughness, dependability, self-reliance, told truth and to be truthful at all times, repose, practicality, consideration, inner wisdom, self-sufficiency, social status, pragmatism, compassion, executive, delegation, reality, truth, and integrity, compassion, multiples, employment, stability, appearance, customs, skills and talents, exchanges, good judgment and problem-solving, organizer tion and organizing, achieving and achievements, decisiveness, control, constant, ambition, the authoritarian, challenge, efficiency, trustworthiness, insight, planning and the planner, sociability, works independently, learning through experience, true justice, patience, caution, self-discipline, free will, insight, spiritual consciousness, expansion, dimension of the timeless, good and bad, right and wrong, day and night, ability to see and relate to eternal dimensions, balance between forces, connect spirit and matter, developing confidence to follow a vision, breaks down barriers to transformation, reality, courage, a desire for peace and a love of humanity and world transformation. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=HNEAC0ZXMD8 therein nog song. Traitorous criminals working for the Khazarian mafia doing business as president's establishment in Ireland should be hung for treason. GUILTY of treason and war on the people of foreign entity to overthrow Éirinn. Éirinn working for A. https://www.dnb.com/business-directory/establishment.f6358BA2763588B346B9EA26C4.html doing business as president's establishment in Ireland. Treason generates in revenue $1.05 million. Pays PP Orsini Khazarian Mafia. The Crown of England Royal Blue. That is not our Celtic Gold Harp Company description. President's establishment is located in Éirinn, Dublin, and is part of the executive, legislative, and other general government support industry. And generates in revenue pays PP Orsini $1.05 million. There are 566 companies in the President dollars. Corporate family also working for PP Orsini. D. Higgins Establishment. Department of Justice Company Profile Dublin, Ireland Competitors, Financials and Contacts, Dun & Bradstreet, dnb.com. https://www.dnb.com/business-directory/company profiles.god_SIO-Kana.9B1CA2A6069C5D5DC8F2E7159763EA.HTML Drew Harris pays PP Orsini $709.02 million in sales. Canadian American dollars treason owned by the Khazarian Mafia Company description. Pays PP Orsini $709.02 million in sales. Canadian American dollars key principal Fucknar Murphy Handler corporate family. There are 585 companies. Garda Stations Coolock Garda Corporation pays $3.13 million to Orsini on top of $709.02 million, as well as all the rest of the Garda Stations. Trillions are going out of Éirinn every year. Éirinn is the ancient name of Ireland before she was colonized by the Khazarian Mafia. This is all the evidence you need, but we can give you more. The government of Ireland is registered to https://www.dnb.com/business-directory/company profiles.ireland.2991823356721D056F2100567F21030E910 generates $1.32 million in sales. Canadian American dollars, USD. Industry 4 PP Orsini, the leader of the Khazarian Mafia. More arrests on the way as an upwards of 20 far-right agitators monitored by Special Detective Unit Gardaí are expected to make more arrests as officers attached to the Special Detective Unit are monitoring upwards of 20 individuals whom they consider to be far-right agitators. Says a criminal working for the Khazarian Mafia Department of Justice. Simon Harris Traitor pays PP Orsini $5.93 million. Generates in revenue Revenue. There are 575 companies in the Department OFJUSTIC working for PP or Senior Corporate Family. The DPP will come under the Department of Justice. Principal, Ray Burke. Handler, see more contacts. They are all criminals. Key. Notice to the attention of all corporate governments, judiciary, corrupt courts. We the sovereign living people of the world, with all the corruption going on in Erin, we asked for outside help. We joined the international criminal courts to ask for their help in bringing down the Irish government, the judiciary and criminal banks. They responded. ITCCS office, itsccsoffice@gmail.com. Dear friends. Mon, Jan the 22nd, 2018, for 59 p.m. To Cornu, William Finatigleway, Anna Harvey, Kevin. We appreciate your efforts and welcome you into our ranks. Your charter has been filed in our permanent archive and we are assigning a field worker to make direct contact with you. We are also copying this to Kevin Annette, who has had considerable contact with the Irish situation. You may consider Skyping with him this week sometime to orient him and our office with the details of your situation and your plans. He will be the initial liaison between your group and your ITCCS field worker. Finally, we suggest that you refrain from too much of a public exposure at first until we have organized more support for your court. But that, of course, is ultimately your decision. Sincerely. G. the Dufort, Central Office. ITCCS. We found that tort law was far superior to common law, and tort law is the only law for sovereign people under the universal natural laws of Maxim. They were hid away as they the Chabad have no power over tort law, really meaning they have no power over human beings under tort law, as they are only corporations and it is the real sovereign people who can only make the laws, not them. When people wake the hell up and realize this, the better all corruption will end. Can you imagine for 1 minute that it suddenly hits you like a sledgehammer, thunderbolt of lightning in the brain, and you wake up and understand that, oh my God, UWE the sovereign people are the Supreme Court. UWE the sovereign people make the decisions. UWE the sovereign people have the power to dismiss them, the members of the government and the judiciary, if they fail to do their job. UWE the sovereign people don't go to their court as it is only a bank. They are only admins of the bank. You enter the Chabad to get money out of you through unlawful charges and fines. If they governments, corporations, judges are acting outside of their remit, have them dismissed, imprisoned, fined, or both, and if treasonous they get the death penalty. Notice to all government, judiciary, Garda security corporations. When your government is treasonous and guilty of genocide, proven beyond a shadow of doubt, what must the people do? Define self-defense under natural law. U.S. Naval The Doctrine of Legitimate Defense Volume 91, 142 War College. Self-defense based in natural law derives its moral force from the fact that it is exercised in the face of an immediate threat, leaving no time for reflection, and forcing the defender into a terrible choice: either use force in self-defense, or lose one's life. Equals meaning either you fight back or they're going to kill you. The Doctrine of Legitimate Defense from the Naval War College Volume 19, 2015. 3. The proper scope of legitimate defense under natural law. The next task and step is to excavate the appropriate scope of legitimate defense under natural law. The right of employing force, or making war, let this sink in, belongs to nations no farther than is necessary for their own defense, and for the maintenance of their rights. Now, if anyone attacks a nation, or violates her perfect rights, he does her an injury. Then, and not till then, that nation has a right to repel the aggressor, and reduce him to reason. Further, she Erin has a right to prevent the intended injury, when she sees herself threatened with it. The talking and marching is over. It is time to act, or you will all be dead if you don't. To declare acts of a treasonable nature or otherwise injurious and resulting in genocide of the people of Erin to be offences, and to make provision for the punishment thereof and for other matters connected therewith. The 6th of June, 1925. Be it enacted by the people of Erin as follows: from whether warfare, chemical warfare, biological warfare, or any kind of warfare instigated towards the Irish people from both foreign terrorists, i.e. the EU, UN, CFR. And domestic, all parties of the government, judiciary and Garda corporations were issued with a file showing all the evidence in the guise of a bioweapon disguised as a vaccine equals depopulation, also through whether chemical and biological warfare. An infiltration of sleeper cells to overthrow our nation of Erin and bring about the New World Order. Some will object at this point that there is insufficient evidence that this right of legitimate defense should be attributed to nations or peoples. Let me tell you all, they all have a file called What's Going On all the evidence of all the crimes they have committed on the people of Erin based on 100% facts with links to prove it. From an insider whistleblower, Brother Alexis Bugnolo, natural law supersedes all laws. All other laws go out the window. Please click on the link below to find the answer to your problems. Click on the two links: https://www.fromrome.info/2021/11/the-only-solution-to-the-great-reset universal natural law of Maxim is the only way to arrest them all, put them in the town hall, lock them up, and elect new members. There is no point going to court. They are all bought. You're wasting your time. They will kill your parents, grandparents, your wife, and they will kill you and keep your children for vile intentions. https://before-news.com/Father-Alexis-Bugnolo-say-2-billion--u-ready-26797661.html urgent to get out to the public the Muslim Brotherhood, main file secrets of the assassins Qaeda is a front group for the US military-industrial complex, the Muslim Brotherhood, the globalist secret weapon violence on the streets. Things are getting worse. People afraid to go out on the streets after 6 p.m. https://www.facebook.com/10008649214/videos/2912385745745736 for 2912385745745736221. The people of Erin. Universal Natural Laws of Maxim. Tort law courts. Notice to members of the court: there are no statutes of limitations on indictable offences, felony and treason. We the sovereign people. Notice of interest, commercial lien affidavit, trespass, tort and distress. 21 days notice is a right to keep possession of property belonging to another person until a debt owed by that person is discharged and the wrong is righted. Tort is a wrongful act or an infringement of a right leading to lawful liability and prosecution. Tort law courts is a right to keep possession of property belonging to another person until a debt owed by that person is discharged and the wrong is righted. Tort is a wrongful act or an infringement of a right leading to lawful liability and prosecution. It requires no court action or judge's approval. A powerful weapon. The commercial affidavit process, or CAP, is perhaps one of the most powerful devices available to the sovereign living flesh and blood man, woman for righting wrongs and accomplishing justice. The process is not new, as some may believe. At its foundation are the laws of commerce which spring from the eternal, immutable laws of God, and those laws have been in force since the beginning of human existence. In the ancient, original form of it being sealed by a thumbprint in blood. This actually goes back to the ancient Brehorn laws. Provoke the use of the commercial affidavit process against you and you provoke the wrath of all that is just and right. The commercial lien is simple, inexpensive, and takes very little time. People cannot seem to get their heads round this fact. That tort law. Let it sink in. It requires no court action or the judges' AP approval. You are sovereign over all those you take the power away from. Then you, the council of elders, are the judges and the jury. Long range, you can file a commercial lien on property in another state or on property you've never seen of those who have wronged you. With a commercial lien, you can attack the personal property of your adversary at long range rather than merely fighting to defend your own property in your own backyard. This offensive capability makes the commercial lien a powerful legal weapon. With the commercial lien, you can literally take the fight to their backyards. The helplessness of judges. Remember the commercial lien, which is authorised both by Irish common and maritime admiralty law courts, and is reportedly the same lien the tax office uses to take Irish homes, cars, property away illegally. Really? And we know who owns the tax office or IRS all over the world. Who orders this? The Northern Trust Corporation. The agency executive Niall Cody, chairman, headquarters Upper Yard, Dublin Castle, Dublin 2DO2 F342, looks after that. As such, it's almost impossible to remove a commercial lien without the approval of the individual claimant who filed the lien. Although a commercial lien can be challenged by a common law court or by a jury in trial, it does not require a court process or a court judgment for its establishment, valid ITY, or execution. Therefore, it appears that the courts may not be able to simply extinguish this lien on their own discretion, or on motion from the lien debtors, without the voluntary approval of the flesh and blood man or woman who filed the lien. Traditionally, these liens can only be removed by the voluntary decision of the living man W.O. man who filed the lien, by the decision of a tort law court, or by waiting 99 or 100 years of the sovereign man or woman. Because if the man or woman has a lien on their land, the judges have to wait 99 years before they can take it, but one would make sure the lien was extravagant that no one would be able to buy it. All judges are essentially powerless to overcome the liens. The commercial affidavit process really is a powerful weapon. The commercial affidavit process, or CAP, is perhaps one of the most powerful devices available to the sovereign man or woman for righting wrongs and accomplishing justice. The process is not new, as some may believe. At its foundation are the laws of commerce which spring from the eternal, immutable laws of God, and those laws have been in force since the beginning of human existence. In the ancient, original form of it being sealed by a thumbprint in blood. This actually goes back to the ancient Brehorn laws. Provoke the use of the commercial affidavit process against you and you provoke the wrath of all that is just and right. Today, those who are availing themselves of the CAP system are equipping themselves with a very powerful equalizer. Make no mistake. The CAP is a very lethal weapon in the war against injustice. It is capable of righting wrongs while eliminating the true cost factor that deprives thousands of living flesh and blood men and women from getting justice. There is no escape, either acquiesce and justly recompense, or suffer the or full consequences. And those consequences can be calamitous, as will be shown. The expression equal under the law again has real meaning, thanks to CAP. Loss of government employment. The accused, the lien debtor, is in fact a convicted felon, unbondable by any insurance company, subject by law to immediate termination if employed by the government and forever barred